Hey everybody, welcome to our. Maybe I shouldn't show all my bookmarks on the screen. Hey everybody, welcome to. Oh, that's a great start. Welcome to our
Hi,
weekly
guys.
Trek Tuesday watch along here on Section Nerdy One, the Star Trek arm of the Nerd Network. Me and John are here tonight. We're holding down the bridge, and we
Only
are
the two
going to.
truest nerds.
Yes,
Sorry.
we are going to jump into episodes. Paramount Plus says
Well, we
five
both
and
have that.
six, but IMDb says 4 and 5 because it counts Farpoint 1 and 2 as one episode. Whatever. We're doing the last Outpost and Where No Man Has Gone Before tonight.
Those are, in fact, that is correct.
Which one is
Uh,
correct? Yes, that is correct. It wasn't a
no,
yes or
no, no.
no. It was an A or B.
The last outpost is episode 4.
Okay.
And where no man has gone before, or where no one has gone before, is episode 5. That's officially the original. Was not a 2-part episode. It was a 1-hour premiere. It is that Paramount. I mean, it's too bad that Paramount didn't go back to the people who originally made it, who could have told them, "Oh, wait."
Welcome to Life Under Paramount.
I mean, it's better than it was under CBS. I mean, technically, that's all of this is old CBS underpinning that they just haven't fixed. So,
Right.
I could be more concerned.
Didn't
But
it
we've
used to be
got
called
two.
CBS All Access?
It was,
Yes.
huh?
For
Yeah,
like
and
2 minutes.
then Paramount took the brand back and took over because the CBS name did not have the weight that they were hoping it would. So
Right.
we've
Cool.
got 2 excellent episodes that add a lot to the lore of the series and have far-reaching effects right through 7 years from this episode. So I am excited to get into these with
So what you're saying is this week should be better than last week's episodes?
you. This week is, I mean, that these are not perfect episodes. And truth be told, I'm going to say, I already have said, that it adds a lot of lore to the show
Right.
and to Star Trek in general. Not all of it is correct lore, because there were a couple of things that got retconned pretty heavily. I'm looking at you, Ferengi, but
Oh, right.
and then I disappeared. I'm back. Sorry, but uh, but truth, I mean, really, when it gets down to it, Armin Shimmerman is the first Ferengi that we meet, and he later goes on to become
Quark.
our most famous Ferengi, Quark. So, he wasn't terribly pleased with how his role turned out in this one episode. Uh, and you won't think of Ferengi. You'll be scratching your head, going, "Are these Ferengi, really?"
Right.
But no, I think we're going to enjoy these 2 episodes quite a bit.
Cool deal. Well, let's hit it, guys. We're starting at the very beginning, so go ahead and queue up your Next Generation episodes. And we're going to start now. Oh, hang on. We're going to turn subtitles on first, and then we're going to start now. So, prep, Jake. Prep.
Man, this was a really amazing ship when it first shows up on screen.
Yeah. Did a Marauder?
Mhm.
Hmm. Flying saucer.
From this angle, it looked like it, even though it wasn't. It was a very odd.
That's a choice, though.
It was, and so
Hey,
what I
Hal.
feel ended up happening there was they designed it, and then the people who were filming it weren't completely certain how to film it, and
What you up to tonight, Hal?
Ooh. I mean, that's a very imposing, very detailed ship for a TV show.
It is. Yeah, I'm currently finishing off pie left over from Thanksgiving. So I get you on the applesauce. That was a weapon.
Yeah, that wasn't really what they had planned on the weapon, but hey.
This is the point if this was an RPG that I would be like, kill them all. Oh yeah, I don't see him having pie at Wawa.
But look at that. That little there's a little smaller vessel docked in
Oh
the neck
wait,
there.
look at the little symbols, the Ferengi symbols on the bottom. That was cool.
Yep.
Although Wawa does have some good. They have a kielbasa hot dog that's amazing. Sensors. I agree. They had to have all parts of the Thanksgiving meal if they're going to have turkey. I still don't understand why they're so close together. Never mind for that camera angle right there. Like all through
Because it's a
Voyager.
4x3 shot. It's
Yeah,
on a
no,
on
I
a
realized
square
as soon as they
screen.
zoomed in, I was like, oh, for that angle. It
Mm-hmm.
That's what weirded me out so much watching Voyager, is because they literally were like, Janeway would
On
walk
top
into
of each other.
engineering and be like, "Hello, Balana, what's going on with the engines today?" And I'm like, "Girl, you got something for Balana Torres?"
So look at. I'd recommend going back and looking at Star Trek Generations
Star
and look
Trek.
at how they desperately tried to get everybody in the frame on the bridge. If you notice, the weapon station in the back had a chair. Never had a show. The reason it had a chair was in 4x3 you could get the whole bridge and you'd have Worf standing. In the movie that's 16:9 or 1:85, whatever, his head would get cut off
Yeah,
if you got close enough to see everybody else.
that
That's
makes
why
sense.
that's why they moved away from that horseshoe pattern line for the next movie for the Enterprise E, because they needed something that was wider that they could fit everybody in. By the way, the Decora class, which is what the Marauder technically is, was
Hang
designed.
on. Let me. Right now, I've got.
Ah, sorry.
No, you're good. It's I got ba 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 in my ear. So go ahead.
So Andrew Probert, the artist who had been the production illustrator for Star Trek: The Motion Picture, came back to do Next Generation. He designed the Enterprise D. He
Stop. Wait.
designed.
Did you see the Enterprise?
Uh huh.
What has always irritated me about starships in Star Trek and Star Wars is when they show them in space, all the lights are on. And I'm like, we have motion lights now. Some of those lights will turn off, and some of the lights were on the Enterprise were turned off. Sorry, continue.
No, no, absolutely. No, he designed this ship, which is technically called the Decora class, and then later another vessel that we'll talk about, the a
You're
very
uh,
very important vessel in the last episode.
you're becoming a robot.
Oh, great! I can fix that.
They bargain. Third hand.
So then, I believe, an early attempt at trying to show that this was going to be a more cerebral show, a show where there was more thought and ideas put forward.
Let the buyer beware.
One of the few things that survived from this episode of the Ferengi.
Let me tell you, that has to when Armin Shimmerman releases an autobiography,
I
that
think
has
he
to be
did,
the
actually.
title. Oh.
I love this. More properly.
Damn, Picard. Why didn't they call the Ferengi during the Dominion War?
See, there's the pool table, the first instance of it showing up.
Yep.
It's actually a prop from Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home in Starfleet headquarters, that was used as the main table that the head of Starfleet was using when trying to coordinate efforts at Starfleet Command.
Nice. I like how they duplicated that in the NX-01.
Yeah, it was such a popular thing. I see where you're going.
What?
Early
That was
example of why
awfully
Geordi needed to be down there.
enthusiastic. Yeah.
Oh, it was. And there's a great blooper of that where he drops an S bomb. Oh, I see where you're going. We drop.
Huh? What?
Here's an interesting thing you may or may not have noticed. Take a look at the front two chairs. After the first season, they changed. First off, the stations are kind of facing inward a little bit toward each other.
Yeah,
They're
you were
not
telling
straight
us
ahead.
that, I think, last week.
But look at the chairs themselves. They're recliners. Fixed
Oh, cool.
recliners. They don't sit up straight and they don't have a swivel on them like they do after starting with the second season.
Everybody, hang on.
Especially since you got the blind guy doing it. That was an early joke.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't do what they wanted.
Um. Ha!
Verses in French. Love it.
Hmm.
By the way, him saying merde marked the first time in Star Trek franchise that a curse word had ever been uttered on screen.
It is. I didn't think about that
Yep.
because I don't know why everybody lost their crap when the admiral said, "Shut the fuck up, Jean-Luc."
Well, fair enough. Look at the how shiny and reflective that window is behind them.
Uh huh.
The glare. That's what I was talking about last week, that they eventually pulled those windows out and just had an empty.
Hmm.
Of course, at the moment, this set was going back and forth between this and sickbay for the entire first season. It wasn't until second season that sickbay got a new set.
Gotcha.
Not completely noticeable, same basic layout, just it changed it to the way the walls looked. Also,
Why'd
if
you
you
walk
notice,
all the way around the bridge?
also notice a little chair off to the side of Troy's station there. That went back and forth between not being existent at all, being a chair with no back, being a bench, being removed again, and then finally being a bench for the rest of the series.
Worf is pissed.
So technically, the engineering is the master systems display. It was affectionately referred to as the pool table because it looked like a pool table.
Yeah.
So Andy Probert was inspired by the horseshoe crab when he designed that ship.
Yeah, I can tell.
The model was built by Greg Jean, who is an amazing and prolific designer or builder of models for the show. He
Nice.
passed away a couple years ago. Pretty amazing guy.
Hmm.
So apparently, the writer of the episode, Herb Wright, had a horseshoe crab on his desk, and Andy Probert saw it and designed it after that.
honor.
Whoops. Somebody figured it out.
To accept a surrender. Wow, Armin Shimmerman looks like such a kid there.
That's not him.
Oh.
I think. That's something I missed for the rest of the show. Having families aboard, that kind of thing should happen often. And that's a fun little thing to have just as a momentary.
Oh, the
Kids
finger
stop
trap?
playing with the
Yeah.
air. No, the kids being in a place where they weren't supposed to be,
Yeah.
playing with the aircraft carrier. The Takan Empire.
Oh, I know that name.
If from Star Trek Resurgence, the video game.
Yes.
They're the main characters.
This dude knows the slave trade practices of like 17th century Earth,
Right.
but can't figure out a Chinese finger trap. Hey, Joanne, how you doing tonight?
Love it.
Wow. Do you know how massive those lightning bolts are?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I hope you feel more better than you do, Joanne. What was eating you?
Yeah. Oh, if you notice there in the ceiling, pause for just 1 second and go back 10 seconds. Sorry, this is one of those things that watch right there. Never mind. You go back and look just to the left of Data's head, right there. right here. If you
What?
notice, that's the circular portion of the midsection of the sick bay,
Oh,
and that's
cool.
the little control surfaces. That's it's the same set.
Oh, look, they have a Christmas tree.
Eh, and they have the wrong Enterprise C. The
Can
model kit of the Enterprise C looked like a cross between the Excelsior and the Enterprise D. I'll show you a picture later. Andy Probert designed an Enterprise C, and then they never used it. They went with a totally different way.
you lean back away from your camera? Like, just step back, bud. It's
Yep.
He's got big ears, Jordy.
Yep. Mm.
All hail John.
Ah,
This guy's kind of a douche. Why is he still there? Okay.
distrust the Ferengi? I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting the way he said that about sparing Worf. Um, this really was at one point up until this time, whenever there was anybody going down to a planet, it was a landing party. There's a new thing with Next Generation by having the quote unquote away team. And if you have an away team, then you have a home team. I mean, it's just it's logic, but they never really did that. But that was kind of written into the script of, you know, do you need to have him here or can he be on my team instead?
Right. Well, 5 main characters just left the ship, so I'm
Yep.
not sure how much is left of the home team. Well, one character safely left the ship.
Yep. Anyone? Anyone? The famous Stage 11, Planet Hell. Yeah, Stage 16, where this was built, has the same rock formations. Well, not the crystalline things here, but the actual rock, the walls, are used all the way through Voyager.
Nice. I feel like Voyager did a ton of like on-site stuff though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Next Gen didn't really do that until much later.
Yeah, budget. It's so crazy to see them like this after having watched Picard.
He's Hank. Who's that? Okay, this is something I wish they had kept all the way along.
The whips.
Yep.
I wonder how many times Jonathan Frakes had to shove his face into that dirt.
Way more than you want to know. Trust me. Wait till later. I've got stories.
All the lights are out.
Yep. Because the power's going down. They really play up the whole family aspect in these early episodes, and
Yeah.
I love this. There are
Data.
some hints of the actual Ferengi here with, Prophet
Yeah.
and you're going to see them talk about
That's Armin
here he is.
Shimmerman.
Yep. If he moves, kill him.
I think y'all about to get the hell beat out of you by Worf.
Yep.
What did that accomplish?
Pygmy cretins. Aha.
Yard of the rescue.
So there we go. Some more early Ferengi lore is actually there.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, still love that phaser.
Um, apparently a really hard dildo. John? Okay.
I'm here.
I was like,
The Dustbuster phaser,
oh, cool.
the first and second season phaser, very different from similar shape. I'm actually 3D printing the boomerang style phaser, but very very different size
Yeah.
and physical shape. This one affectionately known as the Dustbuster because the Black and Decker Dustbuster of the time looked very similar to this.
What is this?
The Takan Empire. Hmm. That's one thing they didn't follow up on later was the idea that Ferengi, because of the size of their ears, couldn't handle loud noise.
Why did he just look at his own legs?
Well, he said biped. Excellent. He tried to make himself look like them.
Huh.
Whoop. He just used a contraction.
Hmm. What is this? Mordock.
Thanks, Data. Look, you can't even get your hair done properly, so.
Right? Sir, are you playing Pal World, sir? Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Because, of course, they would know what Chinese means.
Right?
Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, hey, look, it shows the console's coming back on.
Mm-hmm.
That
Hey, it
dude
says
just
in
looks like he's
Youngblood.
just taking a nap.
Yep. Interesting that she calls him Jean instead of Jean-Luc.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, their air systems work really fast.
Right? And now Baldur's Gate.
I really kind of like his character.
I do too.
Very wise, very sage.
Oh,
I love that
that was
it's
great.
kind of an update to the Tribble episode where they beam the Tribbles over to the Klingons at the end.
Right? Do you need a break or are you good with the second episode?
No, I'm good with the second episode.
Cool.
I'm sure you want to pause for just a moment, have thoughts or whatever.
Yes. I am glad that they toned down the Ferengi because 7
Oh yeah.
seasons of that of Quark on DS9 would have been antagonizingly irritating. Like, oh my god. Cisco would have punched him in the face.
Yeah, very true. And at the same time, I almost wish they kept a little bit of that because it really made them. And I think I know. I don't know that I've actually read this anywhere or where I'm pulling it from, but maybe it's just my own thought on it. One thing about them was they acted so alien and so different. They weren't just somebody with ridges on their forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They had ridges on their ears, so obviously very unique.
but in the way they acted, their mannerisms, the way they walked, everything about them it was as if they were having an honest attempt at trying to make the quote unquote alien be more believable. And then you cloaked.
Oh, I'm still here. I'm listening. I gotta wipe my nose. I don't want to do that on camera.
I can understand.
Yeah, now I need to blow it. Welcome to Trek Watch Along on Tuesdays, where you just get to listen to Jake blow his nose.
Ah,
Cool. I
I
dig
know.
it. I do wish they kept the phase whips. Yeah,
Mm.
laugh it up, Hal.
Years later, in the, I believe it was the, well, in the penultimate episode of DS9, The Dogs of War, Quark proclaims that his bar will be the last outpost of what made Ferenginar great. And I think that was a
Aw,
fantastic way to wrap that up. That was such a
that's
great,
cool.
yeah, that was kind of neat. Um, and coincidentally, in that episode, Ferengi Society had become a more benevolent society,
Well, yeah.
um, just as Riker kind of suggested at the end of the episode. Um, the whips would not be seen again.
Well, and it's not even that, John, because think about this. Fast forward, what, 15 years in the future
Hmm.
to Lower Decks?
Oh yeah.
And now they're part of the Federation. Like
Yeah,
decade
I
and a
know.
half, 2 decades, and boom, they go from somebody that I wish Worf had actually
Mysterious,
shot and all the way
fearful
to,
alien. Yep.
right, exactly.
Now, Quark is seeing an episode, and there's a DS9 episode called Ferengi Love Songs, in which Quark's seeing holding a Ferengi action figure that has a whip, which I think is fantastic
Nice.
as a callback. And then um, the actual whips were seen again in the Enterprise episode Acquisition, which was up to now currently the last live action Ferengi episode of Star Trek. Um, uh, but it was based obviously
Yeah,
in
because they can't,
Enterprise this time,
yeah, they can't show up in Strange New Worlds yet, unless there's some time
which is
shenanigans.
funny because how did they show? I mean, they showed up in Enterprise, but then
That's
again, that was the
fair.
special episodes, and they didn't know who they were at the time. They were,
Let me tell
but
you
they
what I
had.
liked.
Hmm.
I binged Voyager. I
Sure.
did not expect multiple, not just one, multiple Ferengi episodes. Like,
Oh,
oh my God, the episode where they got deposited in the Delta Quadrant and basically became gods because they have a replicator.
so do
Um,
you know that the genesis, the origination of that episode, right?
no,
It's a TNG episode. The two
really,
Ferengi scientists decide there are about 4 or 5 groups that are all basically trying to bid in an auction for what is deemed to be a um, a stable wormhole, which at the time there was no such thing in Star Trek lore. It was the first time that anybody had seen what was thought to be a stable wormhole. And so these two Federation scientists decide that they're going to go through the wormhole to figure out where it goes, even though everybody says, no, it's not, we don't know that it's safe yet. And as it turns out, it wasn't safe. They weren't able to come back. I won't spoil the whole episode, but they don't come back.
right,
It, if I remember correctly, they're played by by different actors for the Voyager episode. But yeah, so you know, at that point, what was it, 12, 13 years later?
yeah,
Um, the characters named the same things come back for Voyager, and
that's
I think it was an
cool.
excellent use because they had said that they had been sent to the Delta Quadrant and
That's
that they were going to
cool.
be gone far, 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 and there was no chance of getting them back anytime soon. So I love the fact that they bring them back. It was such a fantastic idea to incorporate something that about the Delta Quadrant that had already been seen in Next Gen.
Cool. I dig it. Yeah, I love when they. I mean, it's you know we we celebrate the MCU because of what it
Hmm.
is. Really though, the first real cinematic universe was like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you had, I mean, it was a much longer term, but you had
Sure.
Star Trek TOS back in the 60s and 70s,
Yep.
and then you had the animated series, and then you had this start in the 80s, and then the Voyager and DS9 in the 90s. Then Enterprise was the prequel, and then of course the Long Quiet, and then modern Trek. So yeah, yeah, it's the same thing about the 90s Spider-Man and X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Daredevil cartoon. All those are
Yeah.
in the same universe. They all cross over multiple times. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
cinematic universe is not a new thing, but
No.
I like Star Trek's crossovers because they're all cerebral and they make
Mm.
sense rather
Sure.
than just gratuitous cameos. They're written as story. Cool. Where No Man is going before, John?
I am so excited. This is a great. Do you know much about this episode?
Nothing. One episode we're coming up to.
Oh, this you're gonna enjoy this. This really
Hang on, because
it
I
gets
think we all
goofy.
just, I think OBS might have just crashed.
Oh, fun.
Can anyone out there in internet land hear me? Because we are frozen on OBS. We're not frozen on my Discord though.
I was about to I was about to type into the chat I can, but I realized that really doesn't do what you
That
needed
doesn't
it to do.
help, John. That's you can hear me because you can hear me. You nerd. Anybody out there? It still says we're streaming. There are people watching. Okay, so Hal
Well,
can hear
I'm
us.
watching. I don't know. Maybe you're watching.
I am too. So the two on YouTube are me and you. But Hal's over on Twitch. So thank you, Hal. All right, let's start.
Oh,
Hal, are you
you're gonna
wait?
love this.
Hal, are you watching the episodes along with us? I'm gonna go ahead and start while waiting on him to respond.
Another use of the
The Excelsior,
80-year-old space frame of the Excelsior.
right? Cool.
Did you ever watch Monk by chance?
I did not.
Dr. Kroger, who was Monk's counselor, the actor, is in this episode. He unfortunately passed away back in 2008, but I just started watching it in the last year with my wife. She loves the show, and I saw him. I'm like, I know that guy, but I don't know where I know him from. You may.
Her eye roll right there.
Yeah. There are a couple of things that get a little goofy in this episode, but it is overall, and there are a couple of interesting callbacks that I know for a fact you will enjoy once I point them out to you.
Cool.
That's him.
He looks familiar.
Stanley Kamel. Um, he's on General Hospital for a while, The West Wing in an episode.
He looks
Uh,
like Cillian Murphy.
yeah, a little bit.
He's got the same facial structure. He's got those piercing blue eyes. Although I
Mm-hmm.
think Cillian Murphy might have brown eyes.
The director of this episode was 27 years old. His name is Rob Bowman.
Hmm.
Robert Justman, one of the producers, hired him, and considers it one of his proudest achievements on Star Trek. He did 12 more episodes of Next Gen as director.
I love Counselor Troy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy, definitely blue-eyed. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, Hal. I 100% agree.
Oh, what did Hal say?
He sure does love a man with piercing blue eyes.
The
Uh,
score for this episode's a little different. The score for this episode was recorded with a 40-piece orchestra,
oh, nice.
conducted by Ronald Jones, who went on to become one of the most prolific composers for the show, along with Dennis McCarthy.
I just looked at the hole and was like, that's a big D.
So there are going to be several callbacks in this episode that I think you'll find quite interesting that I'm going to point out to you. It does times, but technically kind of considered to kind of be the original premise but behind Star Trek Voyager. Sorry.
I was making sure the subtitles were still on. For
I was
whatever
like, I
reason,
appreciate you
so
stopping the music for me, but
Marcus and I were recording reactions to the first two episodes of Skeleton Crew earlier. And for whatever reason, Disney Plus turns off your subtitles between episodes.
oh,
Like, how
interesting.
stupid is that? Like, if I turned it on for episode 1, I want it on for episode 2. Yeah, I feel like if I was Starfleet, why is this child? um,
No, like, why does he not have a communicator badge on?
huh. I'm curious why Starfleet would say, hey, you did this on these two old ass ships. Let's give you the flagship.
Yep. Now you do.
You know, those eyes are either A, hell of attractive, or B, the eyes of a dick. And this guy striking me as a dick.
This is one of those updated effects. It similar to that, but it was much fuzzier in the original.
Mm-hmm.
Just love how sure he is of himself.
Uh-huh. What is this douchebag's rank?
He doesn't really have one. He doesn't even appear to be a commissioned officer.
Boy! Boy! How fast could the Constitution go?
How? I'm sorry, second.
Top warp of the Constitution.
Well, you see, that's a little thing. They reset the warp scale for next generation. It technically shouldn't have gone more than about warp 8.
Hmm. Well, that was a janky animation. Just yoink.
Hey, let's speed up the camera. That is Chief Argyle, who
Argyle.
was the chief engineer for 2 different episodes.
Um, is the ship having a stroke?
Basically.
Um,
Check out that sweater on Wesley.
is this poor kid cold-blooded?
Love this animation here.
That looked like a video game.
So you can't actually pass warp 10. Warp 10 would put you at every point in the universe at the same moment.
And devolve you into a amphibian?
Well, okay, yeah, there's that too. We try not to talk about that part, but whoa. And there we go. See, it's kind of the concept behind Voyager at this point, being knocked further than anybody had ever gone out.
Right.
Also, as I said, I mentioned Argyle, who showed up in 2 different episodes. Riker referred to him as one of the Enterprise's chief engineers.
Mm-hmm.
M33.
I can't accept.
So go to the restroom while you can.
Right. Well, first thing we're going to do is hairlock that dude. And devolving us into amphibians. I want that chair as my gaming chair.
Yeah.
Oh, why is he smiling?
Notice, if you will, the walls in the back of the bridge. They got much better with understanding lighting technique and got new lighting professionals then in season 3.
Yeah.
You stopped getting as many of the shadows and you stopped seeing the imperfections of the bridge walls. If you look in this episode, there's all sorts of imperfections that are really noticeable on the walls.
That's a traveler thing.
Hey, ding, 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 ding.
I got one,
That
John.
is the traveler.
Oh, that guy is?
You're seeing the beginning of what brings Wesley into the travelers.
Hmm.
He will be seen twice again through Next Generation. The actor Eric Minyuk, who plays the traveler here, originally auditioned for the part of Data and did not get it.
I can see it. Hmm.
Sure you will. Yeah, look at the bridge. The walls there behind him, you can see little
Yeah.
tape lines.
Data looks pissed.
Mm-hmm.
This douche.
Well,
I feel like if everyone had just listened to Wesley throughout the series, a
well,
lot
that was the
less
problem.
crap would have happened.
One of the big issues with Wesley, and especially in this first season, was he ended up coming to the rescue way too often,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. Look at all the
How
chairs, by the
awkward
way.
he is.
They don't have all those chairs later. Hmm. Oh, he saw it this time. See, I told you.
Like, sir, please step away from the desk and pull your pants up. Like,
I like how he just disappeared as it was coming at the screen.
yep. Wee.
I love it.
Hmm.
Whoops. And here is where it starts getting interesting.
A targ.
A targ.
Uh,
Not a kitty cat.
oh, that looks like Spot.
Whoops.
Hmm.
So this episode was written, heavily rewritten by Diane Duane, who is known as being a very prolific novelist of the TOS novels. And this story was actually based a little bit on a novel she wrote called The Wounded Sky.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a rape king. No, I wasn't.
Wow. if you look at Jordy's visor and you squint a little, it's like robotic teeth.
You know what it is, though, right?
No.
It was a banana clip hair piece.
Are
Very
you kidding
popular.
me?
Yeah, that's where it came from. Now they say that the
No, no,
actual
no.
prop
We got it. You mean
wasn't.
like
Yeah,
a hair
I'll show you
thing?
a picture. Yeah,
I
one of those
literally used
interlocking.
to. Is this guy hallucinating too, or is he on the
Yep.
holodeck?
Nope. This is
Um,
watch. This is quite interesting.
I used to. I used to play with my mom's hair thing as Jordy's visor.
Well, there you go. Everybody is.
Collectively dropped mushrooms and acid.
That was a cool effect.
It was.
I really like how they use the lens flare to. I love this.
That's where J.J. Abrams got the idea.
Take it back just 1 second. Take it back one step. Sorry, the musical cue is the end of the music.
Wow.
And that is actually a glass and a pitcher from Star Trek 3.
Nice. Oh.
And here we have a plot point from season 2 of Picard.
Hmm.
I think they actually did a really good job of finding an actress in Picard season 2 that kind of had a look of a younger version of that actress.
Right.
Because it's kind of surprising how well they match.
Agreed. All right. We got to take a beat because I have to use the restroom. So, folks, I'm going to pause it. I will be right back. I have returned, and we are ready to watch. Let me turn my face back on. There we go. Ready to watch some more Star Trek. Can you hear me, John? I cannot hear
I
you.
can
There we
once
are.
I hit my mute. Interesting thing. Once I pick it up, I have one more thing about Picard's mom there.
Hit me.
Are we back live?
Yep.
So if we think about this, and I forgot about it for a moment. In the episode Hide and Seek in Picard season 2, his mother Yvette commits suicide in the 2310s. Something that Picard blamed himself for as a child. If you think about it, that would have led him to often imagine what his mother would have been like had she survived. In fact, I think they actually say that. So you're seeing trauma that won't be addressed for 30 some years
Yeah.
in this episode. That for a moment his mother becomes real again.
Oh.
It just really, that hits hard. It's Anyway,
Emotions.
yes, emotions.
All right. Let's get rolling.
Again, that black panel that I love. I wish they'd kept using that. So notice those two green lights behind the Master Systems display.
Yeah.
They almost look like doors. They won't ever be shown lit up again. They'll be shown again, but they won't be lit up after this episode. The one-time thing.
That guy looks like he's like 12.
You just saw the line that took the longest to shoot out of anything in the first season of the show.
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't him. It never was. It was his assistant. Frakes had difficulty saying that line, and eventually could not say it without breaking into a laugh.
Yeah.
To the point that, according to Patrick Stewart, it spread like brush fire throughout the entire set, to the point where the sound mixer, Alan Bernard, ended up having to wheel his sound cart off the set because he couldn't stop laughing.
That's hysterical.
It
What's
took
up,
them hours
Michael?
to get the
Welcome to the
line.
stream. We doing Star Trek: The Next Generation. We're doing Trek Tuesdays. We're only a few episodes into season 1, so if you like some old ass sci-fi,
This isn't old. TOS is old.
that okay, fair. What are you into, Michael?
Yeah, see the
Dark
circular
for
wall above
yeah,
there?
yeah.
That was some of the icons that you could see in the ceiling in the other room.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, we're
The boy.
the boy. Um yeah, we love it too, man. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, all the big, IP
What's this
franchises.
marble you're talking about?
It's in ancient Earth history.
Oh, same, Michael. I
Yeah.
started at about the age of 12-ish, 12 or 13, with my cousin showing me the episode, the Yep. That's the one. The one with the M5 computer that took over the ship. No, it wasn't. It was not that episode. It was the episode with the Doomsday Machine was the episode. While we were on vacation in Nags Head. More like a higher level of reality. Wanted to see how much these mushrooms could get me.
That's basically what they're floating through. Is a big old nebula of psilocybin. Yeah, blow my nose again.
Well, thank you for giving me the reins of the show, and with this change dawns a brand new day. Oh, sorry, that's Wesley's quote from The Naked Now. I just got to record your voice.
Sorry. Apparently we're at red alert.
Oops.
Dude looks worn out.
Dude, you got to shut up.
Any alien species with sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. You know, admittedly, Michael, I haven't read a lot of Star Trek books. I read a ton of Star Wars growing up. It's what really taught me how to storytell and made me love reading. I did read a Mirror Universe book called, I think, Mirror, The Shattered Glass or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
which jumped eras and had Hoshi Sato, so it was post Enterprise. But haven't read a ton of Star Trek. Do you read much outside of Star Trek? Wow.
I mean, honestly, it's the prime directive. Humans hadn't gotten to the point where the travelers wanted to
Mm-hmm.
intercede. Yeah, shut up. Yeah. Mm.
Man, I read Splinter of the Mind's Eye. That was a book. That
Hmm.
The first one I read was True Bakura by, I want to say, Kathy Tyers, um, which was so weird.
This
Such a
is
weird
interesting.
book.
Listen, talks about Wesley. No. By the way, the next time the traveler comes, all of them talk to him about what he's about to say to Picard. So Picard didn't listen to that at all.
Wow. Did he always have the big lump on his head?
Yep. He would have made a good Data. I could see him doing that.
Agreed. Um, Michael, one of the best Star Wars books I've ever read was by R.A. Salvatore. So yeah, I, I've talked to R.A. Salvatore before. He's really awesome. Great guy. Got really great insights on storytelling and kind of narrative crafting. He helped to write the plot behind that the game from 38 Studios. John, do you remember what I'm talking about?
Trying to think.
It's Kurt Schilling's
Here,
video game
take this
developer.
back about 20 seconds, and we'll pause it to speak with him because this is important to the plot. You want to know this. Um, it was, huh?
I think it was Amalon, Kurt
Let's see.
Schilling video game. 38 Studios. This is gonna bug me now. Project Copernicus was the in development title. Kingdoms of Amalur.
Kingdoms of Amalur.
Cool. All right. Why is the title no longer? Oh, there it is.
Except for Beverly will know all about it later. Love how it kind of cocks his head like,
And it
what?
gets bigger.
All of these chairs. Somebody stole them at the end of the episode and we never saw them again.
huh.
Yeah, let's not randomly have the ship split into 15 pieces.
Oh, that is a handsome dude.
And
I
there's a man
still
wearing a
don't
scant.
understand that outfit.
It was just a variation.
It's an awful particular variation.
Well, they were very ahead of their time, assuming that men would wear them too. Granted, it's the only time you see a man wear one, but
No, there was one in one of the first episodes.
yeah.
No, but we got her, so. We and all those things are dead in our wake.
So they had those two consoles pointed a little toward each other to facilitate having the front two people being able to look at each other a little bit better than they would have in the past. Again, it's something that didn't happen past the first season. So and we're gonna phase in and out of this reality.
Uh, that's a creepy little smile.
And here we go. Kind of an interesting effect.
It is. It's like they scribbled across them with an eraser. Begun, sir. Bring the boy to me. Huh? No, do it now. God, John Luke is kind of a dick.
Hmm.
Oh. Oh, he gets a booster seat.
Yeah.
That's adorable.
No need to get mom involved.
Right? Like, let's. Let me go ahead and.
That was an episode that I really liked from the first season. I think, again, just like the one before it, there's so much that we wouldn't have thought about at the time that it was out, or even for a year or two after, that
Right.
have become such integral parts of the show. The introduction of Wesley as now an acting ensign. Um, those words hit hard today. there's a wonderful website called Stands that works with some of the major franchises, Supernatural, and also with Will Wheaton to produce
Oh,
merchandise that
yeah.
you can buy. And they had a sale for Black Friday, and I ordered a T-shirt from Will Wheaton that was the unofficially official Wesley Crusher fan club shirt. And it came, and I also ordered a pen. He had an acting ensign pen that's in the shape of a
Oh.
heart. The pen came in, and the shirt that came in also has the same design as the pen. It was not the correct shirt. And they emailed me yesterday after I received it and let me know that they don't have the shirt in stock anymore. It was completely sold out. I am heartbroken. I really wanted that shirt. So
Oh.
they're going to work with me to try to make things, make things right. But anyway, this is the first time you see acting ensign and gave an, they weren't going to be able to go too much further with him and explain why he was walking into areas that should only be, permitted by somebody who is in Starfleet and not just a family member.
Right.
So they had to do something, uh, and this has become one of the longest running threads in the show. Is his journey to Journey's End at the end of season 7 when he joins with a traveler and goes on adventures and then now to Star Trek Prodigy. So
Wait,
literally
he's
from
in.
this one.
He's all the way through season 7?
Who, Wesley?
Yeah.
No, Wesley
Oh,
leaves. He
okay.
comes back for guest appearances. Um,
Oh, okay. Because
and so
I like the character, but that'll get old quick.
no, yeah, no, he it gets better for him as time goes along. But and he goes through a couple of different costume uniform changes. But
And apparently
he
muscle suits.
yes, and that will be terribly obvious when it comes about. Trust me, you'll know it when you see it.
Like, whoa, Wesley's
Um,
doing roids.
but it's an interesting and then we find at season 2 of Picard that again spoiler alert, but um, he has become he's been with the Travelers since the end of Next Generation, and you find out that the Travelers are the race
Recruiting.
that kind of are in charge of the Watchers from the Gary Seven character from the original series, who was in an episode that was supposed to be a backdoor pilot for a show
Wait, wait,
based
wait, wait,
on.
wait, wait. The dude
Yes, yes,
says
yes,
in
yes,
this
yes, yes.
episode,
Uh huh.
we did not deign to take an interest or whatever yet, or whatever he
Uh huh.
said.
Uh huh.
But if they already sent Gary 7 100 years prior,
Yeah. Well, so
I detect a plot hole.
we yeah. No, there is a bit of a plot hole. Basically, it's the way that it's been explained in Star Trek lore was that the Watchers um, were the travelers are kind of the Watchers' bosses, um, but um, the travelers hadn't visited humans because they weren't interesting to them yet. The Watchers had, but the travelers had not.
Gotcha.
And so they kind of explained it, and it makes sense in a prime directive kind of way, like the Vulcans not coming to Earth until we had developed warp drive in
Hmm.
First Contact and that kind of thing. So,
Except that they did come to Earth before first contact
well, yeah,
and
as we
developed
find out, they
Velcro.
did. Uh huh. And one of the
Yeah,
best episodes of
fun
Enterprise,
fact from
Carbon Creek.
Enterprise, folks: the Vulcans gave us Velcro. All right, John, give me some final thoughts on this episode before we go.
Uh, I wish more of the first season was like this episode. It was a little odd and out there at places, but it had some very interesting ideas and concepts that were well written and would have some far-reaching, not consequences, but far-reaching um,
Impact on story. I mean, it goes to
impact.
Picard season
Yeah.
2. Season 2 of Prodigy.
Oh,
Um,
sure. I mean, who would have thought that a single episode like that, especially one
dude,
that is not.
how wild. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, sure. No,
How
no, go ahead.
wild would it be if Wesley showed up in Strange New Worlds?
Oh my gosh, I would love it. I would love it.
What were you saying?
Yeah. Well, no, I was just saying it's just how crazy um, to think of this episode. It was a very good episode. It
Hmm.
was a very interesting episode, but it sort of unintentionally, um, you know, really set a course direction for the property as a whole going from this point forward. So
Yeah,
kind of neat.
agreed. Agreed. I liked it. A lot of cool visuals. I love an episode. I run a lot of D&D. John knows this. We have a D&D show on the channel. It's right here. Um, I love an episode that messes with their minds. I do that all the time to my
Mm-hmm.
players. Um, Matter of fact, playing a Star Trek game on Sundays, Q just showed up. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed this. It was very cool. I love the animations there. And, you can tell even in these first few episodes how much they're tweaking and improving the graphics and the animatics. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, folks, we do this every Tuesday night. Unless something's happened, I let me put a pin in that. In 3 weeks, we will not be doing it because that is Christmas Eve. Sorry, love my family. That all said, we do this on Tuesdays. We watch a couple episodes of Trek. We talk about it throughout it. Hang out with you guys. Do the like, do the subscribe thing. Come hang out with us each week, and let's get nerdy on some Star Trek. That is John. I am Jake. This is Section Nerdy One, part of the Nerd Network. We will see you next time. Just live long, stay nerdy, y'all.
Have a great one. Bye bye.